everyone, I hope you're well. This week's vlog has been inspired by a podcast that I listened to earlier this week about swimming. So there's loads of parallels that you can actually draw between swimming technique and running technique, so it appears. And in swimming, it's really well recognised that technique is the key thing, and it's really drilled into athletes from a young age that you have to get the vessel right, and then as soon as you've got that efficient vessel to cut through the water, the rest of it is just down to your engine. Now, I believe we're way behind swimming in that respect, because there are just so many people with bad techniques out there now. You only have to go down to any race, and I mean even at a high level sometimes, and you'll see people with far from optimal techniques. And because of my injury history, it's something that I've looked into quite a bit in the past, and I've worked with various people to try and improve it. And so yeah, I was fascinated, as I say, to hear the 4 points. Actually, it's 4 points and a bonus point that this swimming coach, highlighted about swimming technique, because I just think that the crossover is undeniable. Okay, the first point that he makes is about aligning the head. And in running, so often you see people like jutting their chin out, especially as they start to try hard. And anything that happens around the head area is always going to be magnified down the train, is what I say. And so, yeah, if you start to sort of like just even a tiny bit bring your chin out, then it's just going to pull you forward a little bit. You're going to be braking on your legs a bit more. Your back's going to sort of arch and tense up. Whereas as soon as you just pull your chin and then just sort of grow through the top of your head, then you regain that alignment and you regain the possibility of using your limbs efficiently. So, yeah, don't underestimate the importance of aligning the head. And just a key cue that I'll give some of my athletes is chin in, just chin in and grow tall. So actually that does kind of link to the next point, because in swimming they talk about trying to lengthen the body, and this is again something I often say is just to try and get the feeling of running tall. So the way that you achieve that in swimming is to do with your arms. So I'm actually, in running it's more like the equivalent is the legs, obviously, so I'm just going to draw that parallel. But a bit of a sort of, I don't know, would it be a paradox or unexpected fact is that you want to enter the water with your hand, they say in swimming, sooner than what you would think. You think that like, a big stroke is going to make you go faster. But as I say, it's one of the biggest misunderstandings in running is that like reaching for a big stride is what's going to make you go faster. It's not about that at all. And so, sometimes when you're running out on the road and someone might shout, knees up, do not listen. You already know that they're idiots. And their advice is completely the wrong advice. Any knee lift that you get in running should just be purely as a result of the sort of momentum of the legs swinging forward. If anything, you want to try and get a sense that your knees are down when you're running, and that they're just sort of your quads nice and long, and then your hips are high. Because if you start to reach in front of yourself, then you're going to create a braking force. So I think sort of similarly to swimming, as I said, like it's a lot harder to sort of pull from far in front. So if you can get the arm in and then lengthen underneath the water, it's a lot more efficient. So with running, cut your stride a little bit, don't have your knees up, keep your knees down, cut your stride, and then land with your foot underneath your hips so that your hips are high. Again, you've got that lengthening, and then you're not going to have any braking forces. And then the place that you get most of the power is in the heel pickup. And this guy, the swimming coach, said that so many people finish their stroke too early. They don't sort of get that kind of push back and end with their hand by the hip. So with running, the more you can pick up your heel, and it'll sort of happen naturally as you're running faster. You'll pick your heels up more. You want to sort of just feel for that smooth sort of wheel sensation. But yeah, it kind of, it's common sense really. Anything that's sort of going to be pushing back and pulling up is going to then propel you forward. So having high hips and running tall will then automatically activate your core. Now, it took me until I'd retired from running to actually realise how you can do that just by running tall. And it was in fact an epiphany that I got in a tango lesson, believe it or not. We were practicing walking, and I just sort of suddenly realised that if I had that really nice tall posture and just try to be graceful, that automatically my core activated, but then from there my shoulders could relax. So again, key mistake I see with runners is that because their hips are low, their core can't activate as easily, so they try and control the movement from their shoulders, and then they get like the tension in there, whereas obviously you want to try and be open and relaxed in your shoulders. It's mainly to do with breathing, because you don't really need to use your arms that much in running. They should pretty much just be as a sort of to balance you out. And that was the third point that this guy made as well. So with swimming, as I say, you swap arms and legs. He says that you don't actually need to kick very much. The legs are just sort of there, again, just all to do with body shape. So it's just relaxation in that upper body is the aim of the game, but it doesn't just come from you saying, oh, just relax. It has to come from that control lower down, coming from the core, and that comes from having high hips. Right, so final point he made was to be more quiet when swimming. And this is possibly the most effective cue that I use, particularly with younger athletes, because it's something where you can almost get like immediate feedback from it. So I sometimes get them to practice running with like heavy feet, and then comparing it to run like an elephant, and then to run like a fairy, and then so they can just get a real sense in the difference and how it feels, and it just makes you far more efficient, far more effective. The key ways I try to encourage that in athletes is to run with quite a peppy rhythm, so it's often a bit quicker than what you think you need to run. They say between 160 and 180 strides per minute. Rhythm is one to work on, and then also just to run with a light heart, which I know might sound a bit airy-fairy, but just literally like sort of try and keep your chest up, and it links to now the bonus point that was really keen to point out, and I think we often lose sight of maybe when we're doing sport, where we do it for some sort of like physical gain or success often, but we lose sight of enjoyment. And it's often not surprising that people don't enjoy things if they're doing it with a bad technique, because who likes the feeling of pounding the streets and running in pain and feeling tense and not being able to breathe because you tighten your shoulders? That's why people think that they can't run, but seriously, anybody can run. And it's a shame that we're not really taught more, I think, like from a younger age, how to do it. And I mean, I'm talking here like I'm the expert with all the answers, but it is really hard to teach this to kids. I do repeat the same points until I'm blue in the face, and it doesn't seem to make much difference a lot of the time. So I'm still working on finding the answers. A big thing that has helped to help people improve is through recording videos of them. And they often will say, oh, I didn't know I ran like that. I thought I ran like really well, and I don't. So yeah, as much as possible, videos. But yeah, I hope you can possibly tell it's an area I'm quite passionate about, because there's just so many benefits to running. In fact, I saw a headline just recently, which is saying, could running be the solution to our, what do they call it? Mental disease epidemic, or whatever, basically the fact that everyone seems to be getting depressed these days. But it's such a natural therapy to go out for a run, especially if you can do it in the right way. So I have done another video on this in a little bit more detail, kind of repeating a lot of what I just said, to be fair, but I did just want to reiterate the points, but I'll put a link to that video again. And good luck. Just play with it. Just go out on your runs and bear just those few points in mind, or maybe even just focus on one point each run, and then when you feel like you've got that, then try the others out as well. Okay, good luck, happy running, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.